welcome. We are here at Council Chambers at Town Hall, Abingdon, Virginia, a specially called meeting for the Board of Zoning Appeals. I'm Heather Howard, I'm the chair. Today we're here to consider a request for a variance to construct an accessory building within the required 5-foot rear and side yard setbacks for accessory buildings located in the Old and Historic District. The publication date for the variance application was September the 26th, 2024, and the property location where the variance is requested is 289 West Valley Street.
So roll call is Mr. Schuman?
Here.
Ms. Howard?
Here.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Okay, and approval of the minutes from our last meeting, July 11th, 2024. Did you all have an opportunity to look at them?
I did.
I move we accept the minutes as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Schuman? Ms. Howard?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Okay, item C on the agenda, the variance request. This is by Rick and Laura Blevins, 289 West Valley Street, Abingdon, Virginia, 24210. The applicant and owner requesting a variance for construction of an accessory building that would be situated within the required 5-foot rear and side yard setbacks. This property is located in the Historic District, parcel number 011-5-109. And I believe we should open the floor for public comment.
So yeah, we would open it for public, we would open the public hearing, and then I would go with a staff report, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, probably ought to do the staff report first.
Before we open for public
yeah.
Before the
hearing.
public
Yeah.
hearing.
Okay, then, is there a staff report?
Yep.
Okay.
So yes, the request is from Rick and Laura Blevins, the applicant/owner, has requested approval of a variance to construct an accessory building within the required 5-foot rear and side yard setbacks for accessory buildings located in the Old and Historic District. The property is located at 289 West Valley Street. Access to the site will continue to be West Valley Street or King Street. And so some staff findings. The applicant requests to construct an accessory building in the northeast corner of the lot, as you see here. Per the applicant's request, the accessory building would be set back 2 feet from the eastern property line and 0 feet from the northern property line. Along the entirety of the northern property line is King Street, and to the east is 277 West Valley Street. An existing wood frame shed with a brick foundation owned by the property owners of 277 West Valley Street was approved to be demolished by the Historic Preservation Review Board at their June 2024 regular meeting. So that garage is right here. The HB will be determined based on the current staff findings for the June 2024 meeting. The existing wood frame shed was non-historic and structurally could not be salvaged. A demolition permit application has not been submitted into the Town of Abingdon Building Department yet, but I did talk to the applicants about that one, and they are planning to put one in actually this week or the next week, so that is still in motion and everything. The variance findings are as follows. A, the property interest for which the variance is being requested was acquired in good faith, and any hardship was not created by the applicant for the variance. Staff can conclude the applicant's request is not a self-imposed hardship. The rear yard of 289 West Valley Street underwent improvements to create a designed outdoor space prior to the adoption of the new zoning code in January of 2023. The previous zoning code allowed for main and accessory buildings located in the Old and Historic District to be located to match historic lot arrangements, where buildings could be placed within 5 feet of a property line. Due to the change in zoning code, setback requirements, the lot has been developed based on the previous code and now has limited space to accommodate for the loss of the existing shed. B, the granting of the variance will not be of substantial determinant to adjacent property and nearby properties in the proximity of that geographical area. The accessory building setbacks, if approved by the Board of Zoning Appeals, will not pose a substantial determinant to adjacent property and nearby properties. A letter was submitted by the property owners of 277 West Valley Street stating they do not have issue with the accessory building being constructed in the location as presented. All other adjacent or nearby properties are separated by a public road where the distance from the proposed accessory building location is at least approximately 60 feet, if not greater. C, the condition or situation of the property concerned is not of so general or reoccurring in nature as to make reasonably practical the formulation of a general regulation to be adopted as an amendment to this chapter. Other properties within the Old and Historic District may have ample room, meet the required setback requirements as set forth in Abington Zoning Code. 289 West Valley Street is a unique case where there is no ample room to meet required setbacks for accessory buildings within the Old and Historic District. D, the granting of the variance does not result in a use that is not otherwise permitted on such property or a change in the zoning clarification of the property. The granting of the specific variance request would not result in a use that is not otherwise permitted on such property or a change in the zoning classification of the property. Accessory buildings are a permitted use in the Old and Historic Districts of District 2. And lastly, E, the relief or remedy sought by the variance application is not available through the process or for modification of a zoning and subdivision ordinance pursuant to the Code of Virginia 15.2-2286 at the time of the filing of the variance application. The relief or remedy sought by the variance application is not available through the process for a modification of a zoning or subdivision ordinance. So they meet all the requirements for a variance, and so just laying all that out for you. Here's the kind of a location of, like I said, where they want to put it. Here's where the existing garage still stands, but like I said, HBRB has approved for that to be demolished. There's a fence line that comes along here that pretty much terminates into the shed, so this will be set off a little bit from that fence as well. Here's just to show you in real time, in reality, where it will be. So approximately in this grassy area. So this is the view from King Street, and then this is the view from Wall Street, approximately right here again. So the applicants meet all the requirements for a variance. It will be set back and everything. They would need to have, for building code wise, a fire rated wall on the east side of it, and we've already talked to the applicants, and I've already talked to Rick, and everybody's aware of that situation. So if you have any questions for me, more than happy to answer them. If not, the applicant is here, and you can ask him any questions if you like, and then we can open it up to a public hearing. So.
Actually, drove by and took a look at it. It looks really nice. What you all have done to improve the property, for sure. How big is the building that you plan to put in?
Okay, can you get the plat back up there?
Yes.
So, can you see this?
I've got it up here.
Okay, so, the red outline is way bigger than what we'll build. This area here, the little narrow neck, you see that? Those are actually steps that go up to the next level, and there are columns there. We don't want to, okay, there's the columns. We don't want to come back any further than the edge of the columns. And the actual property line is about 4 feet back, right here. To make a long story short, if we get the variance, we can build approximately 12 by 10 building. So it's nothing nearly as large as that red rectangle. So 12 by 10, 120 square feet, anything
Not
less
to
than
keep a
that, it's
lawnmower
hardly
in.
worth the trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And did I understand correctly that part of that building now is actually over your property line?
About a fourth to a third of the building is on our property. The other 2/3 is on the neighbor's property,
if I can provide some historical perspective on it, the house that 277 is and 289 were built by the same family, the McConnells, in the 1920s. And so this shed or this location probably dates back to when the family owned both parcels, and it was a father and a son, so they just probably
Shared
plopped
it.
it there and shared it.
Mhm.
And so that's why it's a very unique case, that this one is over property line, because we had family members on either side that owned it, so that's why.
And the neighbors at 277 have joined in demolishing it.
So they got a approval, and the Blevinses attended that meeting as well, to the HBRB, and they were in support of it to demolish this because, one, it's structurally unsound. They went through, in good faith, to try to find somebody to fix it as we are required to have applicants do when they want to demolish a building. And they went in good faith, tried to find somebody. They had an engineer come out. It was not able to saved. And also, it's not historic, so it has no historic integrity, so.
That's all the questions that I have. Do you all have any questions?
I do not.
Mr. Schuman? And we don't, I guess I'm gonna open the floor for public comment, but we have no public comments.
Yep, so I would just open up for public comment and then close it.
Okay, I'll go ahead and open the floor for public comment and close it back. Close the floor. All right, are there any other discussion about it?
No.
No, I would move that we grant the variance as requested.
I will second that motion.
Mhm.
And we have a motion on the floor by Mr. Schuman to grant the variance as requested. I have seconded it, and if you will,
Mr. Schuman?
Aye.
Ms. Howard?
aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you very much.
Is there any other business on the floor for today?
No?
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
With a motion and a second on the floor, if.
Mr. Schuman?
Aye.
Ms. Howard?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
And we are off.
Thank you.
In one of our very rare meetings.
Glad we could give you some business.